good afternoon, everyone, and it's our pleasure to have these two wonderful gentlemen with us today. So, I'll introduce myself again, and they'll introduce themselves. I'm Peter, and I'm sure you guys remember that. And with me is
How you doing? I'm Justin.
Justin, and we also have.
And I am Q, also known as Quintessential.
Okay, so so today we'll be talking about three topics. We have what the day-to-day activities for us as flight attendants is with coronavirus. We also have Justin talking about the
Will flying ever get back to normal?
yeah, and that's something I really want to know. So we have Q. Q is very positive right now. So Q, what are you talking about?
We're going to be talking about, did anything positive come out of the coronavirus experience for you?
Okay. Well, I feel like everybody has different takes about that, but we'll start with our day-to-day activities with coronavirus. I would say this much that since coronavirus, I've literally been more of a chef, of a cleaner. It's made me realize some eating potentials I had, and I think that's for everybody. Because I've been watching a lot of, on Facebook and Instagram, everyone is a chef right now.
Everybody is a chef.
Even though we don't taste what they cook, but we feel like, some look good, some don't, but I think it's really made us, to be, it's giving us more time to discover ourselves.
Yeah.
So for me, my day-to-day activities has been like waking up. Since I don't think I could do those 5 a.m. Showtime anymore. I'm so lazy right now. I literally just stay in bed till about, sometimes 8:30, sometimes 9. And believe me, it's early. Like 8:30 is too early for me right now. And I know that back when I was still flying, because I'm not flying at the moment. Okay. Both of us are not flying at the moment, but Justin is still flying. So, we usually have the 5 a.m. wake up calls, and I'll be up like 3:30 or 4, and I'm like, I'm ready for it. But now I'm more like in slow motion. I just want to just take my time, drag my foot. However, I'll say that what I do most of the time is stay home, cook. I wasn't going grocery shopping like that before, but back in Atlanta now, things are more like subtle with coronavirus. So I've been going to more of the Walmart, the Target, I've not been to the mall yet because I'm still and I haven't been to the gym yet. Oh, okay. So, so I think that's how it's been for me, and I've been really occupied. I tried to do more research. I picked up some books to read. I tried to do a book club one time like that, but it didn't work out. But however, I have a friend that we read a book together, and we read the part 1. The part just came out last week, which I'm very excited to start reading again. So I think that's how I've been doing, and I've been eating. Well, drinking wine once in a while, they made me drink those wine. I'm not a drinker. So, but what you guys think? What have you guys been doing? What has your day-to-day activities been?
Well, that's the only one still flying. My day-to-day activities haven't dropped off that much. There was a slow period because they are canceling flights, or we're canceling a lot of flights at the beginning. So my schedule has gone from being a full schedule to a reduced schedule. Basically, I was only going for 4-day trips, but now I'm only going for a day and not get used to the other 3 days. And I've been mostly stuck in Atlanta, but now it's starting to pick back up as far as my schedule is. And there was a time back, I think it was in March, where I had 7 days off straight, and I made my schedule that way so I could pick up stuff. But since the whole Corona thing, there was nothing to pick up, so I was just off. So I was forced in that 1 to 1.5 weeks of quarantine because I don't have work to go do. I'm just literally off for almost 2 weeks. So you, I've been cooking, but
good food or bad food?
I have been just watching a lot of Netflix.
Okay.
and
Well, yeah.
watching a lot of Netflix, and I also I always wanted to learn Chinese, so you know I have been doing that.
Okay, say something. Say something in Chinese. Right.
Would you see Justin? That's my name is Justin.
Okay.
It sounds very Chinese.
Really? Sound like English to me.
Like I'm trying to learn. Like I know how to say the words now, but
Okay.
it's just me working on my Chinese dictation. And actually, a pilot. I finished the 2-day yesterday. My pilot, he was Chinese, so like he was telling me the ropes, like how to say slang words. It's like I'm saying very proper, like in proper terms, like actual full sentences. And it was like when you say foreigner, like don't say like Chongguo, which is like Chinese, like are you Chinese, like Nishi Chongguo ma, like are you Chinese. Say like they say like Laoe, which basically is like slang for foreigner, any foreigner, no matter Chinese or whatever. That's like any foreigner is Chinese. Just say Laoe.
So I guess thanks to him, we just learned some Chinese.
Well, lie away.
So I've been picking that up, and I've been doing that, but now my schedule's picking up, so now I'm actually working, and I'm happy because I love the people, and the planes are getting packed now. So.
Well, I love the people too, but I'll do it from afar.
Exactly.
So, how has yours been? Your day-to-day activities?
So for me, when the whole Corona thing hit in, I think it was like the end of February or something like that. We really didn't pay attention to it because we had a government that was telling us that everything was going to be okay. We were going to be good after a couple of days. Don't worry about anything. So fast forward, I was off for a few days for my birthday.
Okay.
I went to Florida, just relax.
Happy
And
birthday.
it was cool. Thank you. It's 3 months ago, but okay. But I went to Florida and it was cool, and I started seeing more stuff on the news. I'm like, okay, it's time to get home. So once I got home, that following week, there was more stuff going on. By this time, they had started like cutting a lot of flights. And I remember the last day I flew was March 14th. And after that, it just got worse. Every day watching the news, there was something else going on about coronavirus. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fly. And I put it in my head that I did not want to fly. So what I did is, and I mean, it's not a lie, so I did not lie. I spoke to my base manager, thank God for them, and told them, like, look, I might have come in contact with somebody that had coronavirus.
Okay.
And during this time, they were still trying to figure everything out. So what ended up happening was they were like, okay, well, we're starting this program or whatever it was. It was like the pay protection thing. So if you feel like you have coronavirus or you've been exposed to coronavirus, you need to self-quarantine. You need to get a note from your doctor. That's fine. Went to the doctor, told her that I felt like I was exposed to somebody and I wanted to be safe. So for 2 weeks I was off. For 2 weeks I was paid. And I think I got addicted to it. So toward the end of everything that was going on, I used all my sick time.
Okay.
I used the PT, like I used everything. I was not going back to work because I got scared. In the beginning, like I said, you don't really know what's going on. So you're kind of just like, okay, whatever. But the more I heard, the scarier I got, honestly. And I didn't want to be in contact with people. I didn't want to go out the house. So the job eventually offered a leave of absence for 3 months. And I took it. Before that, I was kind of nervous about how the money would look. But, then the government started giving people the extra little bit in unemployment. Right. Cheers to the unemployment.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. You can't cheers. You don't have it. But honestly, I'm not mad at everything that happened. And we'll get into this later in the conversation. I definitely feel like, for me, this time has been one of the best times I've had in a long time.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm one of the coronavirus success stories.
Okay. So, anyways, I'm sure Q would let us know more about that very soon. Well, so we just realized now that our day-to-day activities was just more like
Relaxation.
yeah, I think
Meditation.
everybody just kind of like made it more. It was more mellow for people. I think people really discovered themselves more in this period. You know, the laziness has gotten into it now because I really know how to go back to work. But in all of that, we realized that staying back home, you know, it wasn't that bad. So, well, I'll let Q handle that, and because I'm also interested to know what Justin has to tell us about if flying is ever going to be normal. Because I've been home now for, let me see, May and June. Well, okay, over a month now, and I need a vacation. So I want to know, is it like, you know, can I still go somewhere soon, or I should just sit myself back at home?
Well, the answer is soon, yes. Flying is starting to get back to normal. Passenger loads have increased over 30% since they went to their all-time low of like nobody. Like I had a flight with nobody on it. I wasn't complaining about it, but it was like nobody on board. So like we have loads from 0, like 3 people here, 4 people there, to like loads of like 44, which is the max you can carry now because of the social distancing. So they're blocking out aisle seats unless you're traveling with somebody on our planes, because we're on the smaller planes. So they blocked out the aisle seats, and on the bigger planes, like the middle seats, they blocked them out unless you're traveling with somebody. And yeah, like flights are starting to pick back. I hear pilots talking about before they could just like list themselves on a flight to commute, and it'll be great because there's nobody flying. But now they have to actually call the company and positive space them because flights are getting to the new full. So flights are getting back full. They're not talking about possibly adding more flights as the summer months come in because of the load factors going up now. And I was just in Charlotte the other day. I had a layover in Charlotte, and my next day I was going from Charlotte to Detroit, and as soon as I went to KCM, like I saw a crowd of people, like a herd of people, just like in the concession stands waiting to order food, like lines of people. And then my first, I was like, wow, this is a lot of people. They're like, there's lines for stuff. And I was like, yep, this is getting back to normal. This is definitely getting back to normal. We had like 44 people, which is the new normal for aircraft. So it's getting there. And then I was talking to another co-worker of ours, and he looked on the list, and cities and countries are starting to reopen to U.S. travelers. I think it's on like CNNTravel.com, but like they list the cities that are starting to reopen. Like Mexico is about to reopen for U.S. travelers, and other places start to reopen across in Europe for like either local travelers or whatever. So it's starting to pick back up. I'll give it like until like November-ish for something to seem like normal. They said like we stopped doing service at one point, then they brought on some goodie bags, snack bags with like snacks and drinks and stuff. But they sent an email recently saying that we're gonna resume some part of service next month. They didn't say what it was because they're still planning to work with the company to see what part of service or what kind of service can they do in this new normal. But they said they're resuming something in July to let us know. So I'm thinking it may be first class pre-departure as like some kind of normalcy, because that's only like a select few, because since they're doing the new normal anyways, only like 5-6 people in the front anyway. So we could try and circle 5-6 people in the last 10 minutes of boarding since they boarded from the back to the front. But I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of starting to pick back up.
Everything that's been going on, originally we were told that flight loads were going to be cut 30%, then 70%, and it really ended up being a little over 90%. So at that time, did either of you, feel like you were going to lose your job?
Yeah, and I was saying, I said, like, you know, I had friends and family calling me, asking me about, oh, are you still working? Do you still have your job? And I understand the panic going on. And I know that so many flight attendants lost their job during this pandemic. Well, not just flight attendants, a lot of people across the world lost their jobs, you know, and look at it. It's more like demand and supply right now. Who's flying? Like, who are we gonna go service? Like, we're not giving our service to just an empty plane. We need the passengers to be there. And if the airline can't afford to pay us, they let us go. Which, knock on wood, we don't want to go yet. But I know that I know some companies lost, like they laid their flight attendants off, and we still have our jobs. However, someone was telling me something about the government. There was that what's that thing called? Like a support the government gets to like the airline industry.
Oh yeah, it was like a bailout type of situation.
And that was gonna hold till October, September.
Yes, and September 30th.
September 30th. So the fear right now is okay. We still got the CARES Act giving us our jobs. But what happens after September 30th? Will they start letting us go, or will flights be better then, and we have more passengers, and that way, our jobs are still kept?
Yeah.
So the CARES Act pretty much is the government gave the airlines some money and said, don't fire anybody.
Right. Like,
so that's why they offer the voluntary leaves of absence.
Exactly. And it's a way of you helping the company by going on this voluntary leave of absence.
So after September 30th, since the government money is up, they can just
fire
everybody on October 1st.
But we're open, as Justin said, that the flight it's getting better.
And the company also set out something like early retirement buyouts. So basically, they're like,
can I retire after a year?
Was
I
not
know, right?
necessary for us as junior as we are, but for like the senior people, if they want to like early retire, they get like the different compensation packages that they get.
Okay.
That the company's offering them so they can retire, so then they won't have to, if they do, God forbid, have to let people go, they won't have to let go like a lot of people at the bottom if it goes from junior to senior. That's far as that goes.
So, okay. This is one thing that a lot of people think but not necessarily talk about. Like, flights are getting fuller. People are taking more precautions to be safe. But the thing is, there is still coronavirus. It's still out there.
Yeah.
There still is not a cure.
Once the vaccine comes, that's when everybody be like.
But the thing is, it's not there yet. So as safe and secure as you may be, like it's still out here happening. People have been gathering because of everything that's been going on. There are some people that I see that don't wear their face masks or their gloves and things like that. So truth be told, it's still being spread. So we may be getting to a level of normalcy, but I don't really think like it's gonna last long. Like I feel like that
something like
second wave is gonna
right
and get us.
Not
me because I'm
seriously speaking about that, it's really scary because I went out. Which day was that? It was a holiday. There was a holiday like Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And I went past I want to say Central Park, Piedmont Park, and there were so many people. Like I didn't go in; I just drove by. Just say so. I just drove by, but I saw so many people and no mask on and everything. And I'm like, like I know that it's more like we got tired of just staying home. Because I tell you, like staying home sometimes can be frustrating. It's not just about coronavirus now; it's about your mental health. I was talking to my mom, and I told her, I said, some people will have coronavirus, but they will have other diseases during this period, depression. Like there's so many things that when you stay home and you're not active, it drives you crazy.
Yeah.
This is not a 2 weeks vacation. It's not like, oh, I'm having a lazy day today. I don't want to do anything. That's different. Yeah. But you're having a lazy day for like 2 months, 3 months.
And you know what? Truth be told, I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have suffered from anxiety over their years. A lot of people have suffered from depression. I was one of those people that was in like a heavy depression last year, and getting out and being active and things like that kind of pulled me up out of that mode. But then you're forced into a situation where you can't do this, you can't do that, and you're just stuck in the house. So what I've done, like for me personally, it's been a very freeing time mentally. Like this is one of the like I haven't had to stress about anything. I don't really care. Like as long as the bills are paid and as long as there's food in the refrigerator, like I'm really, really good. But what I have done is I've made it a priority to check on my friends. It's not like I have to get up and go to work. So I have the time. So I check on my friends who I know may have been dealing with depression or anxiety and things like that. And just make sure checking on your friends. So you were saying that there was somebody that had mentioned social distancing.
Yeah, right. You know, like because we feel it's social distancing, it doesn't mean we should like be far from each other. Like, you know, in terms of like phone calls or like, you know, checking up on people. I'm telling you, like, there's some days that I really like just want to just talk to a friend and just say hello. It goes a long way when someone calls you. It doesn't have to be like a 30 minutes conversation or a 10 minutes conversation. Just, you know, how you doing? You know, everything okay? Right, you like, you know, it's wonderful. I've seen things on the news of people, like even making some food and going to give some the elderly, you know, or sending flowers to people's homes. It's very thoughtful, you know. I can imagine someone knocking on my door now, and I open my door, I see flowers from somebody, like, oh, just thinking about you, or just, you know, or a card, you know. Just little, the little act of kindness goes a long way to people, and I feel we need that more during this period. It's really a dark era for us right now, just not in the United States, but just all over the world.
I would definitely agree with that. I definitely feel like people's human instincts, their humanity, their care for other people has come out during this time because you know you have nothing else to do but to sit there and think. So you know your mental health and you know just worrying about other people and things like that. You know it's really shown me a different side of what we all could be. You know, the creativity thing as far as the cooking, you know, people going to Home Depot when they could, you know, redoing
constructing. I know. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Like, it's been so many DIY projects I've done and other people have done. It's been so many recipes that people have tried and created. And,
I never tried one.
Everybody's that good Instagram chef.
Right.
What did you try?
It was peach cobbler pancakes.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, peach cobbler pancakes?
And you didn't bring any of it?
Peach cobbler pancakes. I posted on Instagram.
I thought I saw that.
Yeah. And it was really
Did it taste good?
Because they put a little bourbon in it.
Peach cobbler pancakes.
Because like make the peach cobbler like stovetop, so like actual peaches and the sugar, brown sugar, and a little bit of jack honey in there. Mix it all up. Oh,
that's not a pancake anymore. That's more like.
And then you make the pancakes regular.
You're trying to get a buzz with that.
And then you just pour it on top of the pancakes, and it's amazing. Okay. My next project I want to do is basically you take like hash browns, make it like one big like a pizza pie, like looking like thing, like in a frying pan, and then you put the eggs on top, and then you put the bacon on top. Like it looks like a little pizza. But it's like basically hash brown, eggs, and bacon, but one big hash brown with like 6 eggs on top and strips of bacon, brown sugar bacon on top.
So can we stop talking about food? Because I didn't eat today, so now I'm real hungry.
So I ate today either.
Bacon.
But I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, you said you wanted bacon. I said that this morning, right?
I saw it on YouTube, and that's my next project.
See, so do you guys feel like this whole coronavirus period has been positive for you guys, or?
Yeah, for me, it's been positive.
Well, I'll say that it came with both. You know, it's got its good side and the bad side. Nobody, I think we just, like we woke up to this, like we didn't see this coming. If we had known, like, okay, this period, this is going to happen, and you could plan ahead of it, it's different. But there was no plan. So just came knocking at our door that morning, and I feel like, okay, I got one thing that happened, I remember that before the coronavirus, I got a job with a mainline, and I was so excited about it, looking forward to it. They sent me an email later on, oh, because of coronavirus, we're putting this on hold for now, but don't worry, we still got you. And all of a sudden, like 3 weeks ago, I got another email saying, oh, we're sorry, like the offer is rescinded. Right? That's the word.
Yeah.
And so that to me kind of like gave me that, oh my God, why coronavirus now? You know, I wish like, oh, the coronavirus should have stayed like a little bit longer. I could have done the job.
Yeah,
It's
my
like,
job.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not, that part is not a part I would say was positive for me, you know, because I've been trying to get into that main line for a while and getting it right now, and you know, but I feel like, you know, there's a reason for everything. I'll stay positive about it. So that one was one. Secondly, I'll say that it made me get closer. The positive thing about it made me get closer to my son. You know, spending more time with them, getting to know him better. You know, I think that part is something that I know that, okay, I can look back and say, I'm glad I stayed home with them.
So the coronavirus test is the absolute most painful thing I've ever experienced.
I heard.
So it's like a long Q-tip.
Yeah.
And what happened is you drive up, you fill out the papers, and then you're waiting in line. So just imagine the voting lines. That's the line for the test. So you drive up, the guy tells you to crack your window about this much. He slides in a little Q-tip, not a little Q-tip at all. He slides in the head of the Q-tip. You gotta pull it out. You gotta let your window back up. Like, he don't want your inside car air next to him at all. So he comes into the front of the car, and he tells you have to stick it up your nose.
You do it yourself.
You have to do it yourself. You have to stick it up your nose until water comes out.
Oh my God.
Now, when it was up there, it was irritating me. Like, I had to sneeze because it like made me sneeze. And like, I'm pulling it out to sneeze because I'm not about to have that thing and then I sneeze and then it like comes out my eye. He's like, no, keep it in. And I'm like, this hurts like hell. So I'm trying to be good and, you know, thinking I'm done. He's like, you're not tearing up. It's not up there far enough. I'm like, you know what? Get me out of here. But once I found out, once I was done, that was like, I felt so used. I felt taken advantage of, betrayed, all of that stuff. But it was worth it to know at that present moment I did not have coronavirus. Now, I do want to take the coronavirus antibodies test to see if I had, you know, back in the day or anything like that. But it was worth it for me because I was able to go see my family out there. Like, I was proud to carry those negative coronavirus papers, so I was good. So I would say throughout this experience, the thought of not being able to be around my family for that moment was the worst thing that's happened. When the government passed the bill and, you know, they were talking about all people who were on unemployment was going to get that extra $600. Well, an extra $600 a week is $2,400 a month. So the regional airline that I work for, $2,400 a month, I won't even get that. just that extra $600, I won't get that by going to work for a full month. So then you get your regular unemployment on top of that. So needless to say, financially, it has been a very beneficial thing. I have paid off thousands of dollars in credit cards. I have purchased a new car. I have saved up the money that I need to get the process rolling to purchase me a home. So it's been very good. I've had the opportunity to reconnect with people that I have not talked to in a while. I've reconnected with different parts of myself that I felt I kind of lost in relationships or, you know, being out working and things like that. So for me, it's been a very positive experience. And I mean, the saddest thing now is actually going back to work because now I don't want to go. Like, I'm good. I get up. Like the other night, I invited, you know, now that the world is opening back up and it's a little safer, My friend that I had since I was like 16 years old is a bartender. So I wanted to cook. So I cooked. He came and he was like bartending drinks, and I invited my cousin who's like a sister. Then my other friend, like they all came over, and it was just, supposed to be a simple evening, have a few drinks, have a little food. It turned into like, it was first the restaurant, then it was the restaurant and bar, then it was like the club afterwards. Because, we just, good music was playing, we didn't have anywhere to be.
And you all missed that a lot.
We did, just that interaction.
Yeah.
So, I just appreciated this time. But we also know that what's been going on in the world is, the whole social justice thing. And, bringing to light what's been going on with police brutality and things like that. So honestly, I feel like it's the worst time in history that we have experienced, me personally, but I feel like it's the best time that we're ever going to have, because it's like the time where you see what you want and need out of life, and it's like now you're demanding the change and the respect and things like that you need. So me personally, I feel like this whole time, rest in peace to the hundreds of thousands of people that died and things like that from coronavirus. But I feel like this whole time, this is like one of the best changes in our history, I would say, if that makes sense. Because it's a lot of change, positive things coming out of negative situations.
My downside, however, has been the fact of there's some mornings you wake up and you have that little sore throat, and you know how the hotel rooms have the AC on, and
you're like, oh my god,
like you go to sleep and you wake up, you're like, and then like you're like, wait, is that Corona?
I know.
And like you walking fast, and then all of a sudden you get a little out of breath, and you're like, wait, lungs, don't give out on me. So it's been the paranoia of like, do I have it? Have I been in contact with anybody? But I've been staying masked up, prayed up, strapped up. That's like, and I didn't get tested, but I know I probably didn't have it. Or if I did, I probably had it and it's gone by now. But I don't.
See, now the thing is, I said we all probably possibly did have it.
Exactly.
For a while,
I think so.
I remember email communication from the company saying, oh, well, coronavirus isn't that serious, so we're not requiring anybody to wear a mask. But when it got much more serious, then they started requiring. So what about that time before that you told us we didn't have to wear one? Somebody could have got a little iron,
I feel like most people actually got it. Most people actually got it. Most people actually got it, and just kind of like it lasts.
Self-quarantine,
right? Because I don't know, but it's been a wonderful period, and it's really been wonderful talking to you guys. I really enjoyed this conversation, and sincerely, I really wish we could do this again. Hopefully some other time.
At least until the beginning of August.
Right. So, and when you're off work, you can come join us, right?
Exactly, because I'm still working.
So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys really got something or two from what Q said, what Justin said, and what I said. And we'll probably talk to you guys soon again. And cheers.